Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another product spotlight. Today, I have Colin and Chad from FP Genetics joining me. Gentlemen, how are you?
Fantastic. Thanks for the invite, Tracy.
Good,
Yes, yes.
good. I'm excited to be chatting about some wheat and durum varieties today with you guys. Before we do that, do you each want to introduce yourself and your role, a little bit more about you?
Sure, I can jump first. At Colin Tanner, the kind of Saskatchewan area manager for FP Genetics, working with seed growers and their shareholders and retails, bringing new varieties through the system. I've been involved in the seed industry for over 20 years and been with FP for about four. I also farm West Regina, so it's a good chance to see some of the varieties we have for offering on my own place to get a better understanding. So,
Yeah, I'm Chad Yanchycki, so I'm sales manager here for FP Genetics. Been with FP for just over 5 years now. Work hand in hand with Colin and the other territory managers at FP Genetics. Work with some end users, the shareholders, the seed growers as well. Um, I reside just south of Sandy Lake, Manitoba. Been involved in the egg industry my whole life, so yeah, excited to talk some wheat today.
Right on. I'm excited too. So it's that time of year. This is on farmers' brains. Let's talk about wheat and durum varieties. Colin, you're going to speak about durum. Do you want to share with us first?
for sure, yeah. Oh, that's good. So yeah, working with seed growers in the last 20 years, there's been a lot of change in the durum market in general. Just at a high level in 2003, there were seven different durum varieties, and we now have over 21 as an industry, varieties available. So there's lots of choice for durum producers, which is a huge, just testament to the advancement that the breeders have been making. Um, we there's in this last say 11 years or half of that time, there's been some huge advancements. Increased yields with some varieties, and also introducing the SM1 gene to bring midge tolerance into the for midge resistance. So specifically to FP, we've been a leader in durum varieties for a number of years. Bringing forward varieties with lower cadmium levels, strong gluten uh, levels, really good color retention varieties. That will bring better color, semolina and flower color, and past color and quality at the end of the day. So the I guess the progression of varieties with FP and Durham would be Transcend, which has been one of the leading varieties for the last decade or so. And add or I guess growing on that, we've added this last year. We're even more excited to have been adding Schrader to our lineup. One of the most costly issues for durum producers in the last 10 years is durum's natural susceptibility to fusarium head blight. This disease can drastically reduce not only yield but also quality, making under extreme conditions the seed or the grain being not usable for food, human consumption, and not usable for livestock consumption, is due to the high toxin level. So having a to be the first company, we brought the first I rating, so intermediate resistance variety, was Schrader into the industry for durum. So it is a huge step forward for durum variety options for producers. So we're quite one of the descriptions I would say for Schrader, how to kind of alliterate that or to would be, if you're building a house and you have a choice between two identical houses and one has some free fire insurance, and you're not giving up anything to do with the size or the structure of the house. It's kind of almost a no-brainer to add that into to take that on. So So we're very excited to have that one. We also have AAC Brigham in our Durham lineup, and it is our midge tolerant variety that we have available. Following up from the Succeed that we had for a number of years, it offers great standability, high protein, good weathering, and also the midge tolerance, which in some segment or some areas of the Durham market is kind of top of the concern list. So that's kind of a quick snapshot on Durham. AAC Schrader seems to be high protein, good standability, good grade retention, good harvestability, and offers that first I rating for Durham. So we're really excited to bring that to market. So.
Right on. Thanks, Colin. Chad, do you want to chat wheat with us?
Yeah. So we've got a pretty exciting lineup of hard-red wheat in our portfolio. We've had varieties like Landmark and Viewfield in the past. But some of the highlights of what we got in our program right now is number one, AAC Hockley, a really strong, short-standing wheat variety. It's got a really nice yield package on it, really strong for protein. It's got a really good bushel weight to it and a strong fusarium rating, NMR to fusarium. So it's got kind of, when we look at varieties, you kind of look at it as a whole package, and sometimes there's little weaknesses in varieties when you look at them. And Hockley's kind of that one from A to Z that kind of offers you some pretty strong protection, no matter which way you look at it, from yield to protein to standability, disease package, all that. So that one's been really good. When we look at it across the prairies here, it's done extremely well. In drier years, it's going to compete with everything very similar. But when you get into those wetter years and those little bit more challenging years where standability and disease pressure becomes a factor, that's where you see Hockley really take that next step. It's a really strong variety front to back. So we're seeing acres in that one pick up across the West pretty strong here this year again. So we're excited to see where that one continues to go for us. Another really strong variety for us is SY Manus. So you'll see this one typically a little bit more situated in pockets in Manitoba, and then into the irrigated zones in southern Alberta, maybe pockets of southern Saskatchewan as well. But wherever you got water, it's a variety that what we've learned over the last few years is acts very similar to kind of a CPS style wheat in a sense. It's a little shallower root structure, so you don't want to place it on ground that's extremely dry and sandy. But if you get adequate to good moisture in it, it's going to excel and be a top yielder on your farm. So we see it excel really, really strong here in Manitoba, where we typically tend to have a little bit of a bit more wetter climate from year to year. And then in those irrigated zones, they're having really, really good luck with it, where they can push it a lot. So it's short, stands really, really well, a high yield potential to it. It's an intermediate rating for fusarium, and a decent protein to it. So overall, just a really nice variety. A little bit different than Hockley. Hockley's a little bit more well-rounded. That's going to kind of fit on any acre. Manus is a variety that, like I said, you're not going to want to throw it on a sandy piece of ground, but anywhere else it's going to fit fairly well, and excels under moisture. So when we look into our midge tolerant category, with that SM1 gene, like Colin had talked to you guys about on Durham, we have a variety called AAC Hodge. So that one's been a good one for us. It's a high yielder, good protein to it. It's got a really, really good disease package to it. We've had growers that have been very, very happy with it across the West. So it'll fit in your pockets, but overall a strong variety, and it puts out a really nice yield to it. If we're going to look to the future, though, I just wanted to touch on a couple of varieties that we're going to be hitting the market here in 2027 for us. So just something for people to get excited about of what's coming. We have the next level, kind of the replacement for that Hodge acre, AAC Walker. So this one looks to be a little bit shorter than Hodge. We're going to shave some of that height down with improved standability, a really nice disease package on it, and a really nice standability or yield package on it as well. So it looks to be really, really nice. Should slide in behind that Hodge acre perfectly for us, and I think something growers are going to be excited to have. And then the last one is AAC Walsh. So this is a continuation of our Hockley acre. What you're going to see with that is a slightly improved yield on it and a little bit better standability. But what you're going to see is very similar when it comes to that protein, disease package. That kind of stuff is going to be very similar to what you got with Hockley. So just a little bit step up and something new. But yeah, we're excited to see those varieties hit the market and what we currently in our portfolio.
Nice. Thank you, gentlemen. So you shared a lot of good information. I want to touch on something here. As producers, and as you guys said, there's a lot of varieties out there, and there's ins and outs, traits for each variety. It can be a little bit overwhelming. So I want to do a call to action on producers picking up the phone and calling. So two-part question. What type of resources, expertise, help do you guys have for producers that want to chat about, learn about seed choices and agronomy support? So how can you help them? Because it can be a little bit overwhelming looking at all the varieties, right?
No, you're absolutely right, Tracy. Yeah, and that's kind of how we try and approach every conversation with producers, whether it's prior to planting, during the season or after, right? I mean, it's kind of assessing every year and what are the things that went right with a variety, what are the things you'd want to improve on, and helping kind of go down that path of finding the varieties that we have available that will help them improve on those. I mean, combined, like Chad and I and our other colleagues, we're over 100 years of watching varieties every year in the summer in the fields and right across the prairies, right? So we have, I would say, a vast knowledge of how these varieties perform. We see them, for a handful of years before they're widespread in the marketplace. So we have a really good understanding of how to, I guess, best manage the varieties as well, because not every variety should be managed the same. But we tend to be able to offer that information to producers to help them have the best success with that particular variety. And so I would just say it's kind of it starts kind of now, prior to seeding, helping producers pick a variety out of the multitude that are available that will best suit their farms, and then kind of monitoring with them. We try and follow up, and we look forward to feedback from producers all through the summer on what they're seeing in the field, right? And then we can use that information to help kind of fine tune as we go forward. So, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. That was a good call to action. Now, most importantly, if they want to connect with you, connect with the team, connect to the website, how can they do that if they have more questions and need more information?
Likely the simplest way would be to just write to the website. It has all of our contact information, phone numbers, emails, text numbers, all that kind of thing. And we are readily available to as area managers and sales managers to be talking with you. The website is fpgenetics.ca, and all the information is on there. That's likely the quickest, simplest way for people to get directly in touch with us.
Perfect. Thank you, gentlemen. Colin, thank you. Chad, thank you. This has been a fantastic conversation. I enjoyed you sharing more with our audience here. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah, thanks, Tracy.
You're welcome. My pleasure. You guys in the audience, if you have any questions and want to get in touch, you can either just go straight to the website. All these links and details will be in the show notes as well. So thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.